We are now on our way to Yosemite. We have made it to Yosemite National Park. This is actually my first time here in Yosemite. We're camping in the valley, so it's another campground. But I have my cousin and her boyfriend with me, and they are setting up a tent back there. You might see them. Found another Overland rig over here on the other side. That's cool. And yeah, getting ready to set up camp and explore Yosemite.
Did you figure it out yet?
Huh?
Did you figure it out?
Well, I'm just trying to think, like, if it does quickly, like, start pouring, what would our go-to be? Like, would we want to have our table covered? Does the table need to be over there? Or we could maybe use, like, your little table that we can move around easier.
And my cousin and her boyfriend are working on a tarp solution because there's supposed to be rain in the forecast. We're going to go investigate to see how their engineering is going.
I don't know if he wants that. But up higher, though. It needs to be higher.
No.
Or we're gonna be like.
I mean, we could tie it to this, and then just run a tarp. But then it's not gonna be. Yeah, it won't be covering the bench. It needs to be out here.
You having a good time?
I don't know. I don't know why this is so complicated.
That's why we need the two branches right here.
How's this camp cooking going?
I wouldn't really call it cooking. I boiled some water. Oh, you're filming.
That's what I'm doing.
So we are having good old-fashioned. These were actually going to be for tomorrow in case it was really rainy, but since, I don't know, it just seemed like a good idea right now.
So, it's raining pretty good right now. Tent is not leaking. That's nice. We'll see how long this lasts. But I'm camping for the next night here, and then I'm off to Sequoia from Yosemite. So, hopefully Sequoia's drier and gives the opportunity to dry the tent out. The only thing I'm concerned with is having a wet tent sit and get moldy or mildewy or whatever. I'm using it enough that I don't think that's going to happen, but very happy that this tent does not leak.
Okay, welcome back. It's the next morning in Yosemite, and it rained. That's the thing. We predicted that would happen, so we set up some tarps and made sure the rain flies were up and everything, so I think we did what we could. Tent held up pretty good actually in the rain. I was very happy with that. No leakage whatsoever. Everything fine, and I'm going to be using it for many days to come, so I think it'll dry out fairly quickly. It's not going to get stored away like that. And I'm heading south where the weather should be warmer anyway, but like any true Oregonian, I pack rain gear, so I'm prepared to have a fun day, wet day in Yosemite. So we are in Santa Cruz again. We just got back from Yosemite, which was very, very wet. So the lesson that I learned there was pack rain gear, which I did, and I'm thankful for. Now, I guess this is a weird May this year because it was just stormy. So we had a good time in Yosemite. It was just a very wet one, and all my gear got soaked, my tent got soaked. And my next stop was supposed to be Sequoia, and it's a winter wonderland in Sequoia with snow and below freezing temperatures. And I thought, should I go directly from Yosemite to Sequoia with a bunch of wet gear into the frigid wasteland? I decided not to do that. Instead, I came back here to get everything dry and not tempt hypothermia. So the other reason why I'm back is because we installed a secondary battery in the Raptor because I have so much stuff that's drawing power, including camera gear, charging it, including refrigerator and lights and everything. And I was using that stuff during the camp. That's why I have a second battery installed. And we had tested it and everything seemed fine, except I went to start the truck on the day we went to leave and it wouldn't start. So my secondary battery system failed me. So we have to figure out why that happened. But luckily for me, I had a backup. I have a juice box, like jumper. It's actually Noco, I think, or whatever. But it's like a portable jump unit, and that worked like a charm, no problems. But because everything was dead, my radio wasn't working. I had to reset everything when I got back. So I drove back to Santa Cruz with no radio, no sound or anything. We were able to get into the fuse box and check that out and get that sorted. So now I have that back. I didn't even have backup sensors, which caused another thing, which is pretty funny. Because my backup sensors weren't working, we stopped and ate at a restaurant, and I was backing out of the restaurant, and I'm like, get a warning about backup sensors not working because all the electronics were acting goofy after the battery draw. And I bumped a post. So I got a nice little bump on my Raptor. But maybe I'll get a aftermarket bumper now anyway, huh? Now, this is causing these sensors to go a little goofy, so now I really don't have any sensors. But I guess I'll have to back this beast up the old-fashioned way till I get that fixed. But hey, it's a truck. I'm not going to worry about it. Now, what am I going to do next? So, my options right now are to continue on with the battery situation sketch, or I could go back to Portland, get this sorted out and fixed, and then get back on the road. Because I have 9 weeks left of this trip, or 9 weeks left to trip, and I really have it's going to alter my course and plans a little bit, but it might be the safest option in terms of making sure everything works, and then get back out there and go explore, and be able to go places where I might hesitate to go knowing that my battery is not where it needs to be. But anyway, so that's what's going to happen. My next stop is to go get a multimeter, test the battery out, and then I'm going to make a decision on where I'm going to go next. We camped in Shasta last night, which is in Northern California. I found a lake here, one of many lakes, I think, in the region. But obviously this is the opposite direction that I intended to go because I was going to go south. Except the weather sucks in the right now in the southern part of California, especially where I wanted to go camping. Sequoia, actually, I got a cancellation notice where they canceled my reservation and said, hey, no, it's snowy, rainy here in Sequoia, we're canceling this. So I didn't go to Sequoia. And then I was going to go to Big Spur instead, but the weather wasn't super great there either. And then I have an auxiliary battery in the rig that is not working like it should, that I discovered. So I want to get that squared away. So I said, you know what? Let's take a little pause. I've been on the road for about a week and a half now. Let's go back to Portland, get that fixed, and then let's figure out another plan to get going back on the road when I am going to be in Yellowstone this summer. So yeah, there's more exploring to do, and I have 9 weeks left in my sabbatical to do it. So let's do that. So I know it's not the original trip I intended to do in terms of a continuous loop in 6 weeks, but I think it's fine. I can go do back home and then go out and do more trips throughout the course of this sabbatical that I have, and adventure time. So, but anyway, let's look at this lake. There's a lot of boating happening here. I see a lot of boat ramps, and there's a dock at a marina or dock somewhere over that way, but I found a pretty sparse, barren area of land to camp at, where you need like an off-road rig to get to, because there's it's a trail system, but to get even over off the highway onto the trail, you need a vehicle that can get you over the hump, or you can get high centered real easily. Like I could almost get high centered if you don't do it right, and I have a Raptor, so that says something in terms of, yeah, you have to have a lot of clearance to get over that. I got some cool night photos, so I got to do some night photography, and that was cool. And now we're gonna get back on the road, go back to Portland. And we did it. We made it back home after a big trip. I'm gonna look here at my mileage to see. Yes, full power. Okay, turn on the truck. So, first leg, first journey of Sabbatical truck venture. 2,128.7 miles. 2,128.7 miles. That took me from Oregon, the Portland area, down through central eastern, almost eastern Oregon, central Oregon, Klamath Falls area, into California, to Santa Cruz, Yosemite, back to Santa Cruz, and then to Shasta on the way back to Portland. So that was a pretty sizable trip. Gas mileage on that trip, 13.8 miles per gallon. Now, a lot of that has to do with going off-road and on trails and back roads and all the weight I'm hauling. I know for a fact that totally light load, nothing in the truck, and driving around on the highway, I've done this. I've driven to California before, and I got like 18 miles per gallon on that. So if you got a loaded down truck and you're doing off-roading and you're going off doing trails and you're not on the highway, expect to suck down gas. So that happened. But anyway, we're gonna rest for a little bit, get rejuvenated, because 10 days on the road, half of that spent camping, can get you a little tired. So we're going to rest and then be back for the next truck venture.